Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I am your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We firmly believe in our deep thesis, which is that all businesses are in the hospitality business, no matter what business you're in, and every business needs to be digital first. Digital hospitality is something that has been deep in our hearts, and today's guest is Avi Goren, who is a repeat guest. He's so good that we're bringing him back. But we're bringing him back with much deeper insights. He is the co-founder and CEO of Marqii, Marqii. We will ask him why he spells it that way. But no, we love Avi. We love Marqii. As you guys know that have been following this show, Marqii is a partner at Cali Barbecue, and we only invest in the best in class. So today we're going to talk a lot about what Marqii has done for us in the past, but more importantly, what they're doing into the future, because they are always evolving. Avi, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, Shawn. Always love coming back. And anytime I get invited back, I know I said and thought about all the right things the first time, which my dad.
Well, the first time I had you on, you had a lot of hair.
Well, COVID was hard on all of us in different ways. it was about 10 inches longer and 20 pounds wider, but COVID was COVID.
So let's for the people that don't know who Marqii is and don't know who you are, let's give them the elevator pitch. Give us what you when you go and you raise capital as a digital hospitality tech solution, you've got to get to the point quickly. So let's get that out of the way and then bring people into the inside of really what you guys do.
Yeah, I would say, look, elevator 2 second. Marqii is a one-stop digital operations platform for hospitality businesses and restaurants, right? In plain English, it means that we save teams time by managing their online reviews, menus, and key customer information like hours, photos, holiday hours, right? Anything that can help drive and dictate a customer journey, we touch and automate.
You know, full transparency, Steven Swiderski on my team, he is the one responsible for using Marqii on a daily basis for Cali Barbecue. That's how he manages the reviews. That's how he updates all of the listings. Before this interview was the first time I logged in, I don't know, in about a month or so onto Marqii. And to be honest with you, I got so much anxiety thinking about how many different places Cali Barbecue can exist on the web. You know, there's a listing page on the homepage of Marqii that talks about Siri, Alexa, Nextdoor, Waze, Facebook, Google, Yelp, all of the ones that you know that you need to be on, that you know the information needs to be correct about your restaurant. There's Bing, there's Snapchat, there's Amex, there's Better Business Bureau, there's Uber. Like not just UberEats, but Uber. Like, okay, we need to have the listing correct. It gave me anxiety, but then it gave me comfort of knowing why we build the relationships that we do, why we put on this show, so that other restaurant owners and hospitality professionals, so that they can find tools like this that can better help them drive their brands. Bring me back to the beginning, because we're talking about publishers. These are all these different publishing sites that somehow they've built their business by aggregating a bunch of other small businesses together, hoping that they get the information correct, but how infrequently that information is actually correct.
Well, I think, step one is just remembering and realizing that the days of the yellow pages are over, right? It's not this static book of AAA barbecue, right?
Yeah.
Those days are gone. And there are so many places for your information to live and so many ways for a customer journey to begin and end that you can't risk not being everywhere. Because I'll tell you what, when your information is wrong on Google, when it's wrong on Yelp, they're not blaming Google or Yelp. They're blaming the business owner. Yelp doesn't get a bad review. The owner gets a bad review. When I dragged my kids after their baseball practice, because you said you were open till 6, turns out you closed at 2 for summer hours, and I show up, I'm not leaving Yelp a bad review, right? And so this data, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I can say to Alexa, hey, Alexa, what pizzerias are open near me? And it's going to spit out a couple options near my zip code. How do you manage that data otherwise, right? And so what we found was, at no fault of their own, restaurant owners and business owners they were facing this uphill battle as we evolved and had more access to tools and publisher networks, and you start getting regional networks and everything, there was just no easy way to manage this, right? And it's nobody's fault. It's a messy system. Everyone's trying to do the best they can, right? Yahoo wants the best information.
Yep.
There's no easy way to get it.
Yep.
So they'll buy LLC data. Well, Shawn, when you launch your LLC,
I would hate to see the LLC data for restaurants. It's gotta be a mess.
Well, I don't have a restaurant, and my parents still get mailed to their house because that's where I was living, in their basement, when I, formed
What
Marqii.
a mess.
So it's a messy situation. We're coming in and we're trying to just really help remove that roadblock so that restaurant owners, hospitality owners can go back to doing what they want to do, which is creating that guest experience, that invitation into a restaurant to feel like you're in someone's home and be hospitable, right? And if you start on the wrong foot, it's hard to get back. You get one first impression.
The results are in. National Restaurant Association show. Kyle and Sarah and myself, we were at the Davos sales tax booth, and we were polling restaurant owners on the floor. This was a very unscientific poll, but the results are resounding. Restaurant owners do not like sales tax. Nobody likes sales tax. Doesn't matter what business owner you are, small business, big business. Davo automates the sales tax process. We are so grateful that Davo is the sponsor of this show. They automate sales tax at our Cali barbecue restaurants. It is $50 a month. It integrates with all the major point of sale partners, including Toast. So if you want to sleep at night, if you want to not worry about sales tax, go to Davo, check them out. Davo Sales Tax. Let us know how they're helping automate your sales tax in your restaurant so that we can share your Davo story on digital hospitality. Well, what's cool for me is, I know just logging into my Marqii dashboard is that how much you guys have evolved since we first onboarded with you. It's one of the things that I admire. It's why we stay close and connected to someone like you, because you guys are pushing the ball forward. I mean, you have huge announcements. What kind of things are you guys doing right now with OpenTable?
Yeah, so we have always been review obsessed. I spent 2 years working at Yelp. I've really saw the pains and the joys of having reviews, right? And at Marqii, and we took this straight from Unreasonable Hospitality, we firmly believe that praise is affirmation, but criticism is an investment, right? There's a chance to take it and get better. You can improve on a process. And so to manage all of this across every relevant review site is a nightmare. You can't go one by one. It's our job to help make sure that restaurant owners who want to value hospitality reviews have access to systems that allow for that. You don't need access to medical review sites and auto review sites, right? You have a very
No, I don't.
review sites that matter. And
Yeah.
one of those is OpenTable, right? OpenTable is, if not the largest, top 2 review reservation systems and marketplaces, and decisions happen in that ecosystem, right? I'm in OpenTable searching for available reservations, or I'm going, being led there from your website. And so the opportunity to gather that review data and ingest it into our system so that when you're looking at historical reviews, we're able to segment this out by not just walk-ins, not just Yelp, not just Google, but really showing you what's happening on OpenTable, right? What happened to someone who actually took the time to say, not only do I want to eat there, I want to make sure I can eat there, right? You took my reservation. Can you hold my reservation? Right? What happened once I got there? I mentioned I had a birthday in my flow of OpenTable. Did you do something for that? Did you get that information and do something with it? Right? There's so much data that lives in OpenTable reviews that won't live in Yelp, that won't live in Google, because it's a different experience. It's a different expectation that was set. To ignore that data, you're losing out on potential gold, right? And so we wanted to be able to take that, put that into our system, show you new insights that can allow you to actually have action items from that.
I think for me, it's fascinating because you know who you need to partner with to help restaurants, but then getting there, it's work. Like, it has to be a relationship. OpenTable has to believe in Marqii just as much as Marqii has to believe that the work is worth it to be with OpenTable. Can you talk about the relationship?
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, our whole team are restaurant people, right? I grew up working, first of all, I grew up eating in more restaurants than I'm proud of. But second, I worked for all of high school at the best pizzeria in Oceanside, Long Island, DeCoco's, and I saw what went on in the back, right? I watched Mike struggle with different parts of the business and thrive in other parts. I worked at Yelp, hearing the ins and outs, the pain points. My team comes from breweries and coffee shops, and everyone in our company has worked in hospitality. It's so important for us because it's a different beast. You can't compare owning and operating a brick and mortar or virtual kitchen to a retail aromatherapy shop, to a clothing store, right? It's a different beast. And so I've been a user of a lot of these systems, right? As a consumer, I've made plenty of reservations on OpenTable, right? I've made plenty of orders on UberEats and these other systems, right? I actually used ezCater for a board meeting where we brought in Kava, right? So I've used all of these as consumers, and so I consider myself a relatively power user, right? So if we see enough of this on our side, it makes us want to engage with our client base and say, what are your pain points? What's bothering you today? Because the reality is, running a restaurant in 2023 is different than 2021 and different than 2015.
Yeah.
Right. And so we reached out to OpenTable. Took a while for them to respond, but we were able to slowly but surely build that relationship, that trust. And when we started sharing our client base information and letting it be known who we're working with, the reputation we've built with our clients in the industry, we became their first non-ecosystem review partner. There'll be more to come. We basically helped build the APIs that'll allow for the system to work, and there should be others, right? We don't want to be the monopoly because restaurants all operate differently. If you have a different system that you're using that works well for that, and you want to leverage our menu and listings, all for it, right? We want this to be a one-size-fits-one solution, right? And you need to be able to partner with multiple people for that.
When you brought up ezCater, and ezCater is very interesting to me, primarily because we have a barbecue business. We love the catering business. It's actually what we want to do more of. And the fact that Cali Barbecue right now, we are launching with ezCater. So we met with them at the National Restaurant Association show. We went to their booth, and they've been doing this for a long time now. And the fact that, I don't have their technology in my restaurant to help me drive more catering orders, it's on me. Frankly, it's on me, but I'm very excited that now we're going to be able to tap into their local network here in San Diego to drive more catering orders. Why was it a priority for you to partner with ezCater for Marqii?
Hey everyone, Avi Goren, CEO and co-founder of Marqii, and I want to talk about the customer journey for a second. You never know as a restaurant owner where your guests are truly coming from. End of the day, we do see some patterns around two types of search behaviors: direct versus discovery. Direct search, for an example, would be jumping into Google and saying Cali barbecue hours, right? I know where I want to go to eat, but I'm missing a key detail. I need a little bit more information. Discovery, which is the bulk of searches, is barbecue in San Diego, restaurants near me, takeout near me, right? One of the best ways to be found for more discovery searches is leveraging keywords. Reviews are basically free content for you to leverage. Think about keywords that are relevant to your brand, your location, and include as many of those in your review responses as possible, right? How can you go about doing this? Let's set up reports, utilize tools like Google Trends, find out what's going on in your area and how you can help leverage these keywords and review responses, because someone else is doing that, right? If you need some examples, you could do anything from including summer menu, gluten-free menu, leverage specific menu items like the dreaded and beloved spice pumpkin anything in your review responses, right? Let them know what's coming. Let your reviewers know something they should come back and try. And of course, if all of this just seems overwhelming and daunting because you're already running a restaurant and have enough on your plate, just leverage the team at Marqii to do this for you. We handle all of this. We're experts in this space. We can automate this so it's just another item that you know you are taking care of. Again, that's marqii.com, marqii.com. Know you. However, we did recently buy marquii.com, so if you do misspell it, we got you. You'll still find us. We can still help you. So when we talk again to our client base and we say, hey, what are your pain points right now? A couple of years ago, it used to be we're trying to figure out a catering system. We were looking, I'm not going to mention the competitors, but they were looking at a couple of different systems and we just can't settle on one. Do you have an opinion? Fast forward a couple of years and it's become, hey, we've chosen ezCater. They are the
Yeah.
leader for us. They're who we believe is best in class. We're getting reviews that I have to leave my Marqii ecosystem where I'm looking at my whole 360 view. And I now have to go to ezCater to see what's going on. And then I have to pretend to be a data scientist to pull that in, pop it into Google, export from like, it's just our job here is to help automate, right? Let us be that one-stop shop for you. And so when we approached ezCater, they were actually very open to it because they realized it makes their experience stickier.
Yeah.
If they allow their customers to have access to the data where they need it, there's less of a reason to leave, right? Because now you can see, hey, I'm averaging 4.2 stars across all my on-premise, 3.2 on my off-premise, but my ezCater is somewhere in between. So what's going right on ezCater when it leaves my building, right? What can I learn from that experience to maybe trickle down to my smaller orders, right? And all of that gives the restaurant an opportunity to grow and learn, and ezCater is a part of that.
Give me an idea. You said off premise and on premise. Obviously, the show's about digital hospitality. We care about not just restaurant owners, all business owners selling more things online, whether that's in person within the four walls or delivered outside of their restaurant. Tell me about the insights that you're giving restaurant owners.
Yeah, I mean, look, so I'll name drop a restaurant that I love, Loro here in Austin. It's a collab between Tyson Cole of Uchi and Aaron Franklin of Franklin's, and they've got 3 or 4 locations now: Austin, Houston, Dallas. They're incredible. I eat there probably every 4 to 6 weeks. Either we're taking out or dining in. The experience when you go to their website and you order from Toast and you go to pick it up, they've done an incredible job of the takeout curbside pickup. Like
Cool.
they have 5 designated, maybe even 10 at this point, designated spots. You drive up, you text, it's out within 3 minutes. But then that restaurant loses control of the rest of the situation, right? They don't know if my drive from there to my home, I'm going to be stuck in Austin traffic for 30 minutes. My karage chicken's going to be soggy. The brisket I took out get dried up. All sorts of things can happen in between there. And so restaurants can now have access to this segmentation of on-premise, off-premise. When you leave, there's different sentiment analysis we need to be looking at, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
apples when you look at off-premise to on-premise reviews, right? There's different ceilings, there's different pain points, there's different issues. It's less maybe about the customer experience and more about, well, what happened to the food, right? Can you do something in your containers to make it better? Is there an experience from the text to arrival to the curbside pickup that could have gone smoother? And so we're going to give you access to that data in a digestible, actionable way so you can implement change, right? Because again, it's different segmentations, different process. You can't look at it the same.
Speaking of off premise, UberEats is something that you guys have been working on for a while. What have you guys been doing with UberEats, and where's Marqii going?
Yeah, so UberEats, I mean, they're a behemoth, right? They're such a valuable data set when you look at just the user behavior, the engagements being found. They just went through that major cleanup with virtual brands, so now there's more room to shine. So it's more important than ever to get access to that direct feedback, right? I just went through an Uber Eats order last week, and the flow at checkout is specifically asking me about dishes, right?
Mhm.
How did this dish rank? What happened with this dish? Thumbs up, thumb down on this, and an opportunity to give really strong, specific feedback to the restaurant. And I ordered from Uchi, a place that I love, and across the board was pretty much all positive and thumbs up, except for one dish that really didn't travel well. And I know that they focus so hard on that experience because they don't offer all the dishes because they don't believe some travel well, right? And so, again, another restaurant I eat at 8 to 10 times a year for the last 10 years I've been going there, so I know their menu in and out. And a dish that I normally order in person really gave me a different experience at home, right? And that's not what they're going for. And so, being able to tie that back from Uber Eats without it being public facing, it's direct feedback, an opportunity to invest in that experience and really up that, right? And a place like Uchi, where they have really a substantially higher bill usually,
Yeah.
has an opportunity to invest in small tweaks here or there, right? And really kind of make that difference and that change. And so Uber Eats, as they continue to be one of the leaders in off-premise online ordering, that data is just, it's gold.
You are doing you're making all of these huge announcements with these big partners. These are big deals for not only your existing clients but potential clients. When you have these deep relationships with other technology companies, how do you go deeper? Like, you have a relationship with Yelp, yet it's not just good enough to just let things go. You've got to continue to push the ball forward. What have you guys done with Yelp?
Yelp is one of those who've just, they've been around forever, right? They've
Yep.
really, they were the leader in let's move to the digital age. And as Yelp evolves and innovates, we need to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Their listing information, when you look at what you could have searched for as a consumer in 2018, 19, and early COVID 2020, is completely different than what you can search for now, right? As people's priorities change as a consumer, you need to be able to have that field ingestion on a publisher like Yelp. So as we've grown and evolved, we take advantage of every single field and functionality that Yelp has to offer. Same with Google, because again, they are so aware of the changes happening in search behavior that for a business like yours to miss out on an opportunity talking about, hey, yes, we're playing the Padres game, we're playing sports games, we have TV, everything that you could
Yeah.
possibly think of, right? It's a Thursday night, I've got my dog, I want to make sure that there's a view and a patio and the sports
And
games.
sound is on.
The sound is on, right? All of this matters for customer
Of
experience. And
course.
again, when you think about the reviews, reviews are just expectations being set or met. So if you said you had the game on and you didn't, if you said you had sound on and you didn't, there's an opportunity for a negative experience for the customer, right? So it's so important to innovate with Yelp as they do.
For you, one of the coolest things that you guys have rolled out is your AI review response. Can you talk about some case studies, best use practices, on a large restaurant group level and then down to a single unit level?
Absolutely. I'm going to start by saying I love and am obsessed with reviews. I have felt
That
I started working at
I
Yelp
believe that. I believe that.
since 2012, when I first started working at Yelp, it just felt like there was this power in reviews for a business owner. And
Yeah.
such a shift in mentality over the last 10 years where it started with F reviews. I want nothing to do with them. Why are they giving me feedback like this? To this slow shift of, okay, well, maybe they're, oh, okay, hey, that's not really, I don't agree, but okay, fine, right? And like, we've seen this more adoption and embracing of reviews publicly and privately, right? There's nothing like
Yeah.
a direct feedback opportunity, but the reality is there's a lot living publicly. And we've started to see this shift in embracement of reviews, right? As part of embracing reviews, you have to respond to reviews. There's a whole side benefit of responding to reviews publicly because at the end of the day, it's free content. It's
Yeah.
free local SEO opportunities. It's opportunity to publicly mention an LTO, publicly mention a menu item that you're pushing, publicly shout out an employee, right? And so for years, we've been wanting to offer some sort of a review response product. But the reality is, 2, 3 years ago, there was no way to do that at scale at the level and quality that we insist on at Marqii. Lo and behold, over the last 6+ months, we've been able to take advantage and grow with this new capabilities that AI is offering. What we found is the idea of just training a model and pushing go is not appropriate. That's not where success will come from. Because again, there are intricacies in reviews that need to be monitored by HI, by human intelligence, right? And so at
Yes.
Marquee, your brand manager, your account manager is monitoring these reviews. And for the first period or so, you're approving our approvals. And then after, I believe, 90 days, we then have the right to just respond for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an instance where we have a client in Union Square in Manhattan.
Yeah.
There was a review complaining about parking because parking in the city is awful.
Shocking.
Yeah. And the initial response from the AI bot was, well, we're looking into that. It's a great point. We hope to fix
We're
it.
not looking into it.
No one's doing that.
No one's
Like,
doing that. It's
so it's
bad.
little things like that that still need to be monitored and updated and
We're looking
believe
into
this
that.
is the
That's
best
great.
way. Yeah, right. And like this is the best way to handle this and create scalability. What I love about the adoption of this product, we have seen both our single unit, 2, 3 unit operators up to our 50, 100 unit operators leveraging this product. Some are getting 80 reviews a month. Some are getting 4,000 reviews across their brands.
Wow.
We are responding on their behalf to every single one, right? And that allows you to go back and do what you want to do with your time, with your energy. You can turn what would be a 10-hour process into a 20-minute, quick data set. You're looking, you're seeing, you're getting updates, okay, but you're not responding, right? And it's so powerful.
It's for me as somebody, we're in the media, we're in the storytelling business. We see all the content about AI and how it's everywhere and it's a buzzword for any of the conferences that you go to. But when I think of artificial intelligence, specifically in the hospitality restaurant space, where will it make the biggest impact? I mean, what you're doing in the context of this review data set that we have. I mean, we've been in business for 15 years. We have thousands of reviews on Yelp, thousands of reviews on Google. And when your AI intelligence can go in and see how was I responding, how is Steven responding, take that in context, and then actually powerfully respond. I mean, that is digital hospitality simplified.
100%. And what's so valuable and why we reiterate the AI with HI, with the human intelligence part, is this isn't about a checklist. It's not about, okay, I responded. It's about responding thoughtfully with intent, right? And then we're still going to alert you about anything you need to know about. If you get a string of 1-star reviews commenting on a bathroom, commenting on a specific experience, right? We're going to notify.
Yes.
Your AM is going to talk to you about that. At the same time, if you get 5-star reviews about a specific employee, we want you to know about that,
Yeah.
right? And so it's part of your QBRs with us. It's part of the data sets you're going to
Part of
see.
your what? What was that word?
Quarterly business reviews, right? It's
QBR. Look at that.
sorry,
See,
dropping some
I
information.
I make everyone I make everyone simplify their language. I don't care. I don't care if you're a doctor or a technologist. QBR.
Sometimes I'm too deep in the weeds.
When's my QBR? Is this my QBR?
I mean, you'd be scared of mine and my wife's Slack channel because it's like, hey, you got that by EOD? What's going on?
You and your wife have a Slack channel?
Otherwise, she won't respond to me. We do, it's not a joke. We do a once a year on-site where we take the kids to the grandparents, we plan a dinner, we plan an event, and we go.
You call it on-site with your wife once a year?
We talk about finances, we talk about goals, how are we going to accomplish something, and then the next year we see what we did and what we didn't. But
when is the one for 2023, or did you already have it?
Well, our fiscal year starts in March. No, fiscal year starts in March. No, we have an on-site plan for middle of December. And
middle of December.
If we didn't do these on-sites, I wouldn't have a home, I would have no kids. We never would have talked about it.
I mean, we laugh about it, but it is one of the most important things. I mean, me and my wife, we have a standing every single week we meet, and we meet for personal time. And that's like literally on my work schedule, email, Google, like that way it's a non-negotiable.
You got to do it, man. Otherwise, A, how do they know? How else do you know what's going on? And B,
Yeah.
It's at the time unstructured to plan for a year. I don't know.
So there is something I do want to talk to you about, which is the ability to build businesses no matter where you are in the world. As you know, I spend summers every year going to Bulgaria to the village with my wife and my kids, and they've been traveling since they were babies. And I heard on this popular show called Closed Monday that you're going to be spending December in Chile. Can you tell me, how did that inspiration come? Is this the longest time you're going to be going, and how are you going to run your Marqii empire from Chile?
Well, I'm pulling a Shawn. I'm jealous, man. Um,
You've got the internet, so you have no excuse.
here, there's two things, right? End of the day, I am at this point such a believer in a distributed workforce. If you take the time as an employee, and again, obviously it's not for everybody. You can't have your whole barbecue, conglomerate not in the restaurant, right? You got to be in the
Yeah.
restaurant. And this is not for everybody.
Somebody actually has to put ribs on the smoker.
Exactly. When I've seen your video,
There's no virtual ribs. I haven't figured that out yet.
well, just you got to start Roblox and then you'll be in there. So
There we go.
for us as a company, we invest time and resources into running the best remote distributed workforce that we can. We invest
Yeah.
in the office, we invest in software, we invest in time to make everybody feel as comfortable and productive as you can. We also have a once a year on site, right? So we get to meet each other. We're traveling to trade shows, but again, it's everything's done remotely and virtually. And my philosophy has always been we hire adults, we bring on adults. You know your job. If you can do it from a beach in Mexico or a WeWork in Brazil, where my mid-market director is right now, more power to you, right?
Awesome.
As a company, we have employees in about 17 states and then in Brazil and Ecuador.
Cool.
And so, again, traveling is part of our company culture at this point, being distributed as company culture. And then just for me and my wife, we're travelers. We've traveled, fortunate enough to travel the world. We did 6 months backpacking South America, where my family's from. I mean, we are travelers.
While
And
you
so
while you had Marqii?
this was just before Marquee,
Just before Marqii.
but last year alone, I've taken my daughter. She's 2 years old now. She's been on probably about 50 flights. So like we've taken
50
her.
flights.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm
cool.
I'm taking my daughter around the world, so she's not impressed with your dusty son's Epcot trip, right? Like,
That's right.
so we that's an important part of our family culture. And so I've been talking about my cousin has a wedding in Chile coming up, and probably the last 12 months I've been like trying to incept my family on this idea of let's do this. And then it just worked out where I was able to pull the trigger where we're gonna go to Chile for December. We live December 4th, and then we're doing a engineering on site with my Brazilian and Ecuadorian team in Buenos Aires in the first week of January.
Sweet.
So I'm going to parlay this month in Chile into an engineering on site and meet with my whole team, some of them for the first time.
Wow.
And then we'll come back on January 12th.
Now, is it Chile or is it Chile?
You know what? We accept both. It's Chile, but I grew up, when we moved to the States, we lived in Georgia. No one was saying my name or my country correctly. I was angry.
I have another friend whose family's from Chile, and he always corrects me and make sure that my gringo ass doesn't butcher it. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, I think this stuff is important, and I think it's not talked about enough. Where was the courage? Because it doesn't take courage to go for 1 week. It doesn't take courage to go for 2 weeks. Turning 2 weeks into 3 into 4. Now we're talking about some uncomfortable conversations that have to be had. But talk about how you guys went through that and ultimately how you came up on that decision for the time.
Yeah, courage and crazy are probably a little bit right. And
well, that's why I like you, because you got a little bit of both.
Look, we love it's so important for our kids to have routine. We've got two now, right? One's a 4-month-old who's basically just another accessory on the plane, right? And then my gonna be 3-year-old who's just cuckoo town. And routine's important for them, but so is family and so is experiences. And we've worked really hard. My parents moved to the States, in the late 80s and then early 90s, and they've done a really impressive job in maintaining relationships both with family and friends abroad. And it's important to me that my kids have that too. It's important to my wife that our kids have that too. And so I don't want those relationships to go away, and it takes effort. And then I also, hopefully this is not just a do as I say, but do as I do. I want my team and my company to see that I'm doing it, and
Absolutely.
that I'm going to miss a few meetings. I'm
Yeah.
going to be out of office for a couple of days, but I'm also going to be in office abroad.
Yep.
going to be on Slack. Like, look, strategically, we're going to a place that fortunately the time zone works out really well. I'm not doing 6 weeks in Japan. That's hard, right? Time zones are
Japan
different,
is different times.
right? But I feel like this is something where I can really show our company that, hey, this is the culture. It's okay to do this. We encourage you to do this. Life is short. Work is important. We're not solving cancer.
Yeah.
We're helping restaurateurs. We're doing some fun, important work, but you got to take care of yourself and you got to be able to enjoy the benefits of working here. And this is one of them. And you need to take advantage of something like this if you can, if you're up for it. My VP of engineering, my VP of customer support is going to Australia for 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Great. Sorry you have to go with your kid, but it's going to be great.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think that's the coolest thing about what's happening in 2023 and beyond is that if you are crazy and you have the courage, the only person stopping you is you. You know, and we work in the hospitality space, so it takes the person that's listening to this show, the person that's watching this show, like it takes you the courage. Like it took me having my son to take myself, who's the owner operator, off of the manager schedule. Like I'm literally the shittiest manager Cali Barbecue had because I was trying to be an owner and I was trying to do the manager checklist and I never did the manager checklist. And the next manager came on and they're like, they had to do double the work. But it's like, it takes the courage of removing ourselves from the equation. And I hope by doing shows like this, by having guests like you on that are building the tools, like I can log into Marqii from Bulgaria.
Correct.
I could log into Marqii from Chile. Like it's able to empower our teams to use these tools so that we know that our restaurants are running well.
Yeah.
You know, or they're not. Maybe they aren't. Maybe I need to get back on a plane and come and fix something.
I mean, I love it when we follow a majority of our clients online and when I get a chance to see these operators on the road.
Yeah.
And know that they're doing their thing. They're having fun. They're taking a vacation. This work is hard. Running a restaurant is hard, right? And being able to take a minute to enjoy yourself, enjoy, the fruits of some hard work. It's important. It's important to refresh. Now, I did read after we booked this trip that scientifically it's better for you to take 6 1-week vacations than 1 6-week trip, but that's neither here nor there.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I mean, especially when you're going to a place of your roots, a place that you want to, have your kids interact with the culture, language, all of the food, all of those things, traditions. You just can't replace that amount of time.
Yeah, no, and listen, I've never been to Napa, but I've been to Chilean wine country 3 times.
Yeah,
right?
amazing.
To have that kind of experience and see what's going on over there. And Argentina is going to be an incredible 2 weeks or 2 weeks that we're there. We're doing Mendoza for 5 nights, and it's like a different trip, right? We're going with our kids, so this belief of one day for you, one day for us. So one day it's going to be just pool and playground. The next day, taking your ass to a vineyard.
Yeah, deal with it.
Deal with it. We'll get all our drinks in plastic, and that's fine.
That's awesome. So every single week, if you are listening to the show, we want to hear your story. So if you're in restaurants, if you're in technology, sales, marketing, we have a community of digital hospitality leaders. We meet on LinkedIn audio and we meet on Clubhouse. If you guys want to join that, you can come on stage. You can just send me a DM on Instagram. That's at Shawn P. Walchef, SHAWN PWALCHEF. I'm very active on Instagram, live vlogging my life, restaurants, media, podcasts, barbecue, chargers, you name it, Bulgaria. It's all on there, but it's an easy way for me to connect with you and send you an invite for the show. We also do a social shout out. This week's shout out goes to Helen Ralowitz Chapman. I don't know if I said her last name correctly, but Helen is amazing. She's part of the Marqii team, mid-market sales. She's been joining us on Clubhouse and on LinkedIn. She's a rock star. I don't know how many technology companies we work with. It's a lot. We only work with the best, but I tell all of their sales teams, all of their marketing teams, you guys all have an open invite to come on stage. Helen, you're a rock star. She also, she has a question for you, which is, what is your current favorite hot sauce? Current favorite hot sauce.
Right now, I am very deep in Yellowbird Serrano.
Yellowbird Serrano.
Very deep in Yellowbird Serrano.
Like subscription deep?
Like I've got
Like, are you an influencer for them yet? Are you creating content for them?
I think just an advocate.
This is
Um,
content.
I have probably about 12 travel size 2.2 ounces that I keep, one in my car, one in my backpack, and then I have the 6 ouncer in my fridge. Everything Yellowbird does is incredible.
So
Yellowbird,
Yellowbird, where are they out of? Do you know?
Texas, Austin, or right outside of
Austin.
it. But
Okay.
yeah, they're incredible. They will be in our holiday box this year.
So
Uh,
you're a brand ambassador for them. You will be.
I I've given them enough money. I'll tell you that.
We're gonna we're gonna we're gonna clip this up.
I went
We're
I
gonna
went through
send
a
it
I went
to
through a Truff phase, then Yellowbird, Pete Terry's. I mean, if I don't get tattoos, but I'll put your sticker on anything.
them. There you go. So you don't have any tattoos.
No tattoos.
No tattoos.
My scars are all inside, Shawn.
My scars are inside, not outside. Okay, I need one shout out from you. Who's the person you're gonna call out?
There's so much good happening right now. I'm gonna shout out Margaritaville.
Okay.
Margaritaville has had a moment in the last few months where they have navigated everything on social media, reviews, data. They have been such a rock star example of how to handle the digital side of your business as you grow. Not to mention, obviously, right, with the passing of Jimmy Buffett, right?
Yeah.
It was a moment for them to really. I don't think there's a protocol on how to handle that, and I think they really touched on a lot of emotions. I know we were all pretty sad over here at Marquee, and outside of that, just from the review side, they've continued to focus on the business and grow, and they've just been an example of what to do in any situation. And so, yeah, continue to
There
be
it
an
is. What so we'll put links to so you guys can follow Margaritaville. Show them some love on social, follow them, go visit them. They're everywhere. But yeah, more importantly, learn from a business standpoint the case study of how to handle like you said, something that there is no playbook for how to
no
handle.
precedent for it for them, and
Yeah.
it was I continue to be impressed by that team.
Amazing. How can people learn more about Marquee? How can they follow you?
Come find us www.marqii.com, marqii.com. We could not afford marquee.com with the U when we started, and we are just too deep into it now. So marqii.com. Come check us out. We're at all the trade shows. Come find us at RFDC in Vegas, Pizza Expo, National Restaurant Show, RLC, you name it, we're probably there. And come follow us online, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're on all the places.
And
Apparently, thank you, Helen.
are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram. I might be getting off Instagram soon, but I am on Instagram right now.
Right now, it's a tough place. I know.
Avito Burrito. Come find me. And yeah, always happy to connect. AVI@marquee.com, marqii.com. Please reach out, connect. We're always happy to chat, answer any questions.
Oh, we appreciate you, Avi. As always, thank you for your time. And you guys stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. It's Avi Goren, CEO, co-founder, Marquee. Get some. Thank you.